Hey, good morning. Good to be back with you. We're talking about resiliency. Last week I talked about it and the importance of being mentally tough, especially during these times right now. Last week we talked about adaptability. One of the hallmark attributes of being resilient is the ability to adapt. And so many people right now are doing a great job of that, adapting to the difficult times that we're in right now. Want to add another, I think, attribute to this idea of what it takes to be resilient. And that's, good habits, keystone habits, habits that impact a lot of other areas of your life. And we've talked a lot about that. I know my brother Steve is a great role model for all of us in our family of 6, and he had a paper route. And for many years, until he's about 14, 15 years old, he'd rise at 5 o'clock in the morning, go deliver those papers. And yours truly inherited that paper route. And I did that for 3 or 4 years, same thing. I think Jim inherited it. And so anyway, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I swore that after I got rid of that paper route, I never would. Here I am, kind of an old guy now, and I've been up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just part of my ritual, part of my process. And I think it's so important to maintain those habits, especially in times like this. It's so easy to get out of your routines. But it's that routine of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get down here in my office, put on a little music over there. I do some, spiritual reading, say my prayers. I like to then be able to journal a little bit, answer a few questions for myself that I've been thinking about. It's just a way that gets me energized and really going. Then I go over and I exercise, and I've got all that done by 6 o'clock, 6:30. And I feel so good, about that. It's good for my self-image. It's good for my energy. I think it's a very important thing is, do you have a process? And a process is really important. Good habits or a process that really keeps us on track. What I've also found out, my wife and I, is that, we both get up and we kind of have the same habits of this early morning habit, but then we've noticed in the afternoon, we're just not active. We're in the house. And so, we've been saying to each other, we've got to get out, we've got to exercise more, we've got to walk more, we've got to exercise a little bit more because we're not having that social interaction. And so I'll leave you with that is, what's your process for really right now, especially now, what process, what habit really keeps you on track? Stay on track, stay in your routines, really important at this time. I also want to kind of give a little shout out to the coffee group, to some of the Bible studies I'm in. I think it's times like this that we realize that maybe we've taken those things for granted. The idea of socializing, meeting with people, and really realizing, especially now, how important that is. And I'm going to give a special shout out to BK, Bob, the senior member of our coffee group. And yes, Bob, I miss you. And he says to me, how come you never talk about me on one of your videos, as if it's going out to 25 million people or something? But anyway, Bob, a shout out to you. Yes, I miss you. Miss that coffee group. So I'll leave you with that little message today. I hope you're doing well during these difficult times. If anybody would want to talk, or, you feel like you're getting a little depressed or a little down and you want to talk about that, no strings attached, no money, no nothing. I'd love to talk to you about that and discuss, where you are. So PK at builttolead.com. Email me, we'll set up a time, we'll talk. Love to do it. I feel that's one of the talents or skills that I have, or strengths that I have. Be glad to share that. Hey, see you next week. This is Pete Kunk, Built to Lead.